For a subsequent DUI offender, it's even more crucial that they hire an attorney immediately. The sanctions for a subsequent offender become astronomically higher. For example, if it's your second DUI within 5 years, instead of facing a 6-month driver's license suspension like you did on your first DUI, guess what? You face a 5-year driver's license suspension. So now it's jumped from 6 months to 5 years, as well as the fact that now you face a mandatory 10 days in jail. So you went from no minimum jail as a first-time offender to a mandatory 10 days in jail. So it's really important if you have a subsequent DUI to contact a lawyer immediately, and because the sanctions are so high, and you definitely don't want to just go to court, plea without having the benefit of an attorney to speak to and consult with to see what's in your best interest. You have the same legal issues as you do on a first DUI. You can challenge the stop of your vehicle, the detention, the probable cause for arrest. You can challenge the breath test, whether or not you actually refuse the breath test. You have the same legal issues, but now you face more serious penalties. So you're not going to be eligible for, let's say, a diversion program in a county where they offer one, such as Orange or Osceola County. A prosecutor may not be willing to give you a reduced charge of reckless driving because they see you've had a prior DUI. So those are the things you kind of face. If you go to a trial on a DUI, a jury will not hear about the DUI, your prior usually, but the judge will consider it when it comes to sentencing if you're found guilty. So it's not like you'll be judged from your past to determine if you're guilty now. That's in our system. We don't do that in our criminal justice system. We want to judge you usually on the facts of the particular case. We rarely go back and use your past against you to determine your guilt or innocence. However, it is a factor that's definitely considered if you are found guilty. And that's why it's so important to hire a lawyer immediately so they can start investigating your case, see the possible defenses, because you're not going to have all the options you probably had the first time around. The other thing that someone with a subsequent DUI has is that we have to look at all their prior DUI convictions. The law says we're not going to use what's called an uncounseled conviction against you. So let's say you had a first-time DUI in another state. I'm just throwing this out, like Arizona. You went to court. You didn't have an attorney. You pled guilty. No one advised you at the time that, hey, did you know this is an enhanceable offense? That if you get more than one of these, it could be used against you, because that's something somebody should be told. So if you come now to Florida and you get a second DUI and the prosecutor has that prior conviction against you and plans to use it, we can challenge that now to the court and say, Judge, you can't hold that prior DUI conviction against our client because it was uncounseled. He did it without the benefit of an attorney. And the judge will most likely say, that's correct. It's now really like a first-time DUI. He shouldn't have faced enhanced penalties because he was not aware of that when he entered the first plea. So those are things we look at with any subsequent offender. Were you represented? Did you have an attorney? What happened at the time of the plea? So those are things we investigate as well.